A child was pulled from a burning home today in Fort Pierce. A dramatic rescue today as firefighters burst through a burning home.
Two local firefighters are being hailed as heroes this morning after saving a young child from a burning house.
Devastating house fire Monday in Fort Pierce. The house here at 25th and Juanita has now been boarded up. A fire that left 8-year-old Demetrius Golden with serious burns.
Some police officers go around back pointing to the windows, saying that there's a child inside.
Chris Longo and Steve Burns dove headfirst through a window.
Lieutenant Chris Longo and Lieutenant Steve Burns have each spent more than 2 decades with St. Lucie County Fire Rescue, but rarely have they had to tackle a call like they did Monday.
Station 4 copies loud and clear.
My name is Steve Burns. I'm a lieutenant with the St. Lucie County Fire District. I've been working for the fire department for 24 years.
I'm Lieutenant Longo. I've been a fireman on this department for 22 years. And we were here, we just got back from the station, I remember, because we just got back from an NBC car accident. And we pulled up to the station, somebody yelled out, structure fire.
I was getting ready for work that morning. My grandparents was watching Demetrius for me that morning. They were my babysitter.
That call, again, we had 3 units responding. We had heard there were burn victims there, and we tune in, turn on the radios, and start to prepare ourselves possibly for a response.
We got to the trucks, we're heading down. We can see the column of smoke as we were heading down Avenue D to hit the 25th. Engine 15 pulled up. I bailed out of my seat. The first person I was met by was Fort Pierce PD. And they're yelling that there's a kid in the building. There's somebody in the building.
I ran out the car. I ran to the scene. I fell out on the ground. Out of shock. I just was terrified.
As they were making forcible entry through the back door, I went over to a window that was just broken open by Fort Pierce PD, and I leaned over and I can hear the young man moaning in the background.
It's hard to describe the noises that he was making, but he was unconscious and he was trying to breathe, and it was a groaning, moaning sound. And I think no matter what was going on inside the house, I was going to try and help him.
What bothers you the most is kids that you can't see. You can wipe your mask all you want, it's not going to help. You can only feel, and you have to get really close. Like when I found him, I got from here to my hand to his face to see him. And that's when you grab him up and you hold him close so that you can protect him, but seeing is the problem. And so I kind of covered him up. At the same time, I was yelling, Lieutenant Burns, I need fire suppression. I need this fire knocked down so that I can get him out.
There was no hesitation. When I heard the child and I could see a police officer calling out to him, I didn't even hesitate. I just dove right through the window.
We can see an immediate access right out the front. And when we just knocked that fire down, it was enough for us to be able to pick him up, arms and legs, carry, and go straight out the front door. And as we made it through the front door, we turned around, we yelled for rescue. They met us immediately with a backboard and stretcher, and they immediately went to work.
So when they got here, we loaded the patient up. We actually flew the child. We had another helicopter from our agency fly the grandmother, and the grandfather went to a local facility who flew out actually later on that night.
When they put Demetrius on the stretcher, he said he watched skin actually fall off. And he was watching that on the grandmother and the grandfather too, and Steve and Chris the same, and it affected them a lot. And whenever they went to talk to us about it, they just broke out in tears, and well, so did all of us.
He had tubes just that was getting smoke out of his lungs. So I thought he was dead. Those firefighters, they didn't have to risk their lives to go back in the house and save my son. But they went beyond their work that they do, and I'll never forget what they did for my family.
I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for me and my partner, Steve Burns.
A hero to me is someone willing to put it all aside, their life, their risk, their families.
I don't consider myself a hero. I just feel I did the right thing, and that if anybody was stuck in that position, would have probably did the same exact thing I did.
Do they consider themselves heroes? They're doing a job that they were trained to do. When the alarm comes and the alarm comes there, you go into action, do your job.
The love that you saw, even to this day, every time they talk about Demetrius and that fighter, they said it was one of the worst ones they had been through.
I think Demetrius is a hero in his own right. For if you would have seen what he was trapped in, it was pretty terrifying. And the fact that I helped him and I met him afterwards, and to see him smile is my motivation for doing what I do.